Welcome to this special presentation of Investing in Psychedelics, brought to you by the Canadian Securities Exchange in partnership with CFN Media.
Welcome to all our viewers to another micro session for the CFN and CSE virtual series for investing in psychedelics. Today, we will be talking to the CEO of PharmaTher. It is Fabio Chianelli, and Fabio is joining us from where?
From actually Vaughan, Ontario, which is about 30 kilometers north of Toronto.
Great. Fabio, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and talk to us a little bit about your company. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our audience to what you and PharmaTher does?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, thank you for having me on the show and for the interview. Much appreciated. PharmaTher is a brand new company. We're focused on repurposing psychedelic pharmaceuticals with artificial intelligence. And what we do is our drug repurposing platform, which is an AI-based artificial intelligence platform, which is called PanaceAI, combines multi-layer processes for integrating millions of data points and multiple data sources, and performs machine learning to discover and learn new uses for psychedelics. So PanaceAI, in essence, it serves as PharmaTher's product pipeline engine to build on our pharmaceutical-derived drug product pipeline. And it also unlocks partnership opportunities with biotech and pharmaceutical companies seeking to expand the product pipeline. With PharmaTher, we've already filed provisional patents, not only for our PanaceAI, our platform, repurposing platform, but also for certain psychedelics for neurological disorders. Currently, our product pipeline targets certain these neurological disorders such as traumatic brain injury, migraines, and even rare pediatric disorders, which all come with very attractive FDA incentives for expedited approvals such as orphan drug status, breakthrough, and fast track designations.
Thank you for that insight. I find it really interesting. So you guys are using AI and psychedelics at the same time, sort of in hand in hand. How did you guys come up with this concept to use AI to further?
Yeah, no, it's pretty simple. I mean, nothing is. I mean, right now with drug repurposing, that's my background. I'm a founder. I was a founder and past president of Revive Therapeutics, which was focused on drug repurposing. Yeah. And it kind of evolved where we used to use, we used to use more of bioinformatics, big data, and kind of get to understanding of how drugs will work from drug interactions, maybe disease associations and whatnot. So what you find now in this whole industry, there's a lot of great companies that have drug repurposing engines or platforms, and it's continually evolving. Because why? Data is evolving, new clinical research, new discoveries in certain drugs that target new receptors, for instance. And it's very unique. And what I found was all these data silos, if you will, they're kind of everywhere. And what we're trying to do is kind of combine all this data, all these different repurposing engines that are out there that you can develop, and kind of combine them together to like some sort of super system that can continually learn and whatnot and try to discover. Now, with psychedelics, what I got more into the psychedelics arena is because even my background coming from Revive in the cannabinoids arena, which in essence is a hallucinogenic, specifically a THC. You find interesting ways of how THC or all these cannabinoids within the marijuana plant can even potentially treat so many other diseases and disorders. Now with psychedelics it's becoming more mainstream. There's already been a drug approval from a big pharma, and now you see more investment coming in. I said, you know what? This reminds me of cannabis back 5 years ago, the research goes into 20, 30 years ago, but this Absolutely. Is like in its infancy. So we want to continue to learn what are the different options. I mean, even the hallucinogenics itself is over 200 to 300 identified compounds that you can research and see if they have potential for all these indications. So what I'm doing is I'm fascinated about the repurposing angle of it. I'm fascinated about how now technology is sped up to bring in AI, machine learning, all this big data into one type of super system that we could also find new uses for psychedelics, and with the focus. Because in reality, you may have a platform, but you have to really specialize, whether it's a specific indication or specific compound, because you're building that kind of know-how and knowledge. And this is what we want to focus on. I think this is where the opportunity lies.
No, I think that's a great point that you make there. I have a question for you. Now, when we say psychedelics, there's a whole array of them.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a certain psychedelics that your company is focused on, or are you guys looking at them as a whole?
Well, yes. I mean, right now, I mean, we can really say blow our brains and look at everything, which is pretty much it'd be impossible considering with the resources and whatnot. So we do have focuses on certain psychedelics that I think, we believe anyways, that have a tremendous potential. Now, we all know about psilocybin. Well, let's just go back one. We all know about just hallucinogenic psychedelics. They're well known, but what they're known for is that they all target these receptors, right? And mostly there's the G protein coupled receptors. And for example, psilocybin, which is fairly well elucidated, I mean, there's a lot of research being done with psilocybin. We know that it's a strong agonist to hydroxytryptamine receptors, right? The 5-HT2A, 1A, 3C, 2C, and 3. But what we want to do is we want to create like some sort of, we want to move beyond that and look at profile or pathway-driven approaches to allow to see, for instance, psilocybin, LSD, even neuroclindidines, all these different types of compounds that can target other indications and find these new uses. So that being said, is like we're focused on primarily with psilocybin. We're also looking at other undisclosed indications that will come out in public to we'll build our pipeline on right now. I think that's where we feel more comfortable with, because of supplies available. There's GMP material. You can see right now in the environment that companies are now starting to beef up their resources, because what's lacking is a GMP type material to conduct your clinical studies with.
I apologize. I've got birds in the other room that are chirping
okay.
away.
Okay. Well, I know tomorrow is a big day for our family, because we got caught up on the pandemic puppy craze, and tomorrow's we're having a new dog tomorrow. So
nice.
A new addition to the family. Yes.
What kind of dog?
A miniature poodle.
Nice. Congrats to you and your family. It's definitely going to help with the stressful times.
Yeah.
Why don't I let you talk to our audience about your team and the expertise you guys have put together to move your company and project forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, as a management team from the C-suite, it's myself as CEO. Again, my background is in I've been a life sciences entrepreneur for over 15 years. My career spent in more the drug delivery, drug repurposing space. Most recently, I was the founder and president of Revive Therapeutics. Yeah. And currently, Michael Frank is the CEO of the company, who's also an advisor for PharmaTher. And we also, for PharmaTher, our CFO is Carmelo Morelli, who is a CFO for a number of CSE and TSX venture listed companies. Now, our technical and pharmaceutical development team is comprised of experienced drug development, machine learning, AI professionals. For instance, even Dr. Bev Inclendon, who's a director of PharmaTher and who has an FDA drug approval under his belt, is involved with our company. And we're also partnering with academic research institutions to help us not only that have the experience in machine learning and AI, but also clinical and R&D development for a number of compounds. So with that, we have this whole kind of broad network of professionals in addition to IT, medical, regulatory professionals, and key opinion leaders to help us not only build and validate our product pipeline, but also expand our knowledge and vast in right now in the infancy of specifically in hallucinogenics or psychedelics, however you want to call it, really building that team. So as you can see, moving forward over the next 6 months, we're going to continue to build our team, and not only from the scientific advisory, but also from the business advisory boards as well.
Great. So I guess that's one of the milestones, anyone interested in your company should be looking out for. Is there anything else that you'd like to kind of have our audience members have a heads up for?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, in terms of milestones, I mean, building the team is the lifeblood of a company, and maybe I don't consider that as a milestone, but it is significant because not only to shareholders, but you're building that core competency. But I see it over the next 6 to 12 months. Is I see PharmaTher having a well-balanced product pipeline of psychedelic-derived pharmaceuticals, both in the preclinical and clinical stages. Now, we will have research agreements in place with well-known academic research institutions to help us conduct these studies, and also for the development of PanaceAI. Now, in addition to that, I see with our drug repurposing platform, PanaceAI, we'll also have a number of drug development partnerships with these pharmaceutical companies or biotech companies who are seeking to expand their product pipeline within, that are interested in psychedelic compounds, right? So you can see the players right now, they're looking to expand the product pipeline. We may be eventually a partner to them. I don't consider anyone in this space, and this is how I believed in back in the cannabinoid space. No one's a competitor. We're all partners. We're trying to build up an industry and validate that. And any way we can contribute is the best way that we all can move forward. I believe in the synergistic 1 + 1 = 20. So that's it.
Great. Fabio, I really appreciate you taking this time to come on via Zoom and talk to our viewers about a little bit about your company.
Thank you.
Everybody listening, please register. The live event itself will take place on June the 17th. And Fabio and PharmaTher will be one of the companies joining us. You can hear more from him at the event as well. This content will be repurposed and it will be sent out to everybody that's registering. And we'll also have a playlist on CSE TV channel, which is on YouTube. Feel free to find us on there. Fabio, I'm really looking forward to hosting you at our virtual Investing in Psychedelics conference. And I look forward to learning a lot more about your company and what you guys do.
Anil, likewise, and to all the viewers, thank you very much for your time. And Anil, thank you for your time and having us involved in this event. We're very excited. We're very excited to introduce and to have the public understand more about our company, about myself, and how we can drive value not only to shareholders, but also what we're here for is to bring out new therapies for these unmet medical needs.
Perfect. So Fabio, why don't I let you end off with maybe your website and where viewers can find more info on your company?
Yeah, absolutely. Our website is currently in construction right now. We're going to be updating in the next couple of weeks. I mean, before the event, we'll have the full website open, but you can go to pharmather.com and you can, my contact information, any questions anyone has, please feel free to contact me. And you will have not only our website out, but also an investor presentation that will be available for people to review.
Great. Thank you, Fabio.
Awesome. Thank you.
This has been brought to you by the Canadian Securities Exchange. Thank you very much to our viewers and listeners. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you. Take care, Anil.